Chapter 34, Marco. Despite having to kind of figure out the dust creature's actually trying to eat us, I was still slightly worried it wrapped me up in a ditch and carried me away. Slightly worried as in crying like a baby. I could feel her rising up, or I was more concerned with just breathing, which was hard enough. The beast swirled around me, choking and binding and imprisoning me. Suddenly I sensed we stopped moving. A few minutes later, it released me. I had no expected to see, but I sure wasn't this. I was on the sign to look like a bridge in a Starship Enterprise, only triangular. Instead, Data or Sulu or Worf or Spock just went to Taxons and a Skrull Harbinger with weapons drawn. I also saw an open, empty box looking to be a cage, and just in front was a dead Harbinger. And finally, it's the worst part, instead of Captain Kirk or Picard, there was Visitor 3. Visitor 3 had Harbinger blood on his tail, not looking happy. Not that he ever did look happy, exactly. Visitor 3, the dust monster hovering above us, filling the top of the room like a storm cloud, Taxons and computer screens, a circle Harbinger armor and Dracon beams, and me a gorilla in the middle of all this. It would have been funny if it was happening to someone else. Morph out of that stupid form, Visitor snapped. I said nothing. We'd faced him before and never spoke for you to be able to tell we were human, not Andalite. Someone remove that garbage, Visitor said, pointing at dead Harbinger, and find that Andalite. Bring in the bioscanners. He didn't disappear, he just morphed something small. Andalite, he had to mean Axe, meant he was still alive, and he'd escaped his plan as poor Harbinger. Mr. a hard guy to work for. I felt a surge of hope. Axe is alive. Marco! I jumped. Not far because girls aren't big jumpers, but I sort of jerked in surprise. Every Harbinger tightened their grip on their weapon. Marco, is that you? It's Axe. Axe, it's me. Are you sure Visitor can't hear us? Just keep thoughts speaking directly to me. Where are you? I morphed to flee. Good, maybe you can get away, then you're practically invisible. I'm gorilla morphing, kinda noticeable. I have a plan. Oh good, all our plans are working out so well. Where are you? The safest place I could think of. I'm on Visitor 3. I stare at Visitor 3. Somewhere in his fur, Axe is hiding. He glared at me. I told you to morph out of that ludicrous shape, he said to me. Don't make me use painful measures. Did you hear that? Said Axe. Yes, he stopped speaking openly. Don't morph, don't say anything. Just tell me, do you see a computer nearby? There are probably a Taxon working it. I see a bunch of consoles, a bunch of Taxons, and Visitor looking like he's ready to barbecue me. Any console will do. Do you see a small pad with Taxons touching? Yeah, they're all pressing one hand if it is a hand, those little squares. Why do you defy me, Andalite? Visitor demanded. To what purpose? Sooner or later you have to emerge. Those are interfaces, Axe said, like your human keyboards. When you touch, you can transmit commands directly. Similar to DOSpeak, however, the basic principle is actually, Axe, I don't need a science lecture. Visitor's going to look at me like I'm his brief journey, so if you have a plan, just do it. Okay, everything will be crazy for a few minutes. Just go for the console, press your hand, think open hatch. What are you going to do? Axe laughed, and he seldom laughs, so it surprised me. The Velic goes after morph energy. I'm going to give it something to go after. Visitor is still staring at me. I can practically see the wheels turning in his brain. Why? Are you afraid to demorph? Why don't you speak? The other one spoke. Why don't you? Then, over our heads, the dust monster's going to rotate faster. Visitor girl, that shit's more like a Velic. Harbinger sounded weird, makes an English in our native tongue. But Visitor had already known, so impossible not to. The Velic is going to totally tornado. A tornado with sharp teeth and slashing blades. Anything that wasn't bolted down was flying around the bridge. Suddenly, ropes of dust shouted in a swirling crowd. Ropes that wrapped Visitor like a package. I saw a glint something on his back. It was a bug growing larger. It was Axe. The Harbinger all left forward trying to secretly rescue him from a dust creature, which was a big mistake. The first Harbinger tried to slash it with a bladed arm, but a split second he no longer had that arm. He screamed, and that was my chance. I barreled to the closest computer console. Harbinger, half fixing a dust monster and half on me, got in the way. I hit him full force in my head like a charging bull. Harbinger staggered his blade across the Taxon. His weak legs collapsed. I didn't wait for him to get up. I punched a second one with a big gorilla fist, and he scuttled back. I was in the clear. Water, Visitor cried in a swirling dust monster. Water. He was thirsty? At a time like this? I pressed my hand on the computer console. Open hatch, I thought. Open hatch, right now. To my utter amazement, it worked. I could barely see for the tired edges of the dust monster's storm, but the ceiling of the bridge seemed to split down the middle. And open, I could see stars outside. Was that his plan to open up the bridge to the vacuum of space, so I stuck out and die? I considered reversing the command. I wasn't ready to die. But then I noticed we, weren't getting sucked out into space. Then I noticed a cloud above us. We were in the atmosphere. Fools, Visitor screamed. They're trying to escape. Get him! Get him! Get that monkey! Monkey? I show him monkey. I turned. 6 Harbinger warriors advanced on me, their bladed wrists and elbows flashing. Axe, have the hatch open. Whatever you're planning on doing next now would be a good time. Like, right now. Chapter 35 with Axe. I morphed out slowly, had no intention of going all the way, and plan was done remaining a flea, as again the morphing of the air swirling around me. It was working. My morphing had drawn with the Velic. It swift, the morphing energy is now doing what Visitor programmed to. It was capturing the morph. Of course, in capturing it also captured the Visitor. I heard him yell for water. Why? What purpose was that? I heard Marcus say, I have the hatch open, what you're planning on doing now would be a good time. I reversed back to flee. The hair on his back, which had shrunk to the size of tall trees, now rose up again around me, taller than the tallest building. All my fleet armor clanked back into place. I was once again not figuring a comma on this page. It was time to move. I released the massive spring power of my hind legs and fired away from the Visitor's body. I hit a wall of wind. I was caught in those swirling mass of dust. The park was roughly my own size. They shot past me in incredible speed. Slam! A particle hit me. It stuck, and I was impaled on my own flea combs. The spike protected the joints in my armor. It was stuck to me, and then locked together with it. I was able to see from my weak flea eyes. It was alive! A creature my own size, 100 minuscule wings that beat the air, and antennae with different any standing on Earth. The antennae covered in tiny upturned bowls, like dishes of primitive human radioscopes. Their structures use to sense energy. There are no eyes or mouth, but two long filaments like strands of wire strung back in front of the creature. Mostly how it fed by shining energy down the wires. The Velic was not one creature, it was billions. A swarm of billions of these tiny creatures. They'd evolved into a swarm that would come together and become a destructive entity and gnashing teeth and blades. But in reality, they're separate insect-like things that fed on energy. I motored my tiny front legs and shoved the Velic away. Its wings beaten and a flash, it was gone. Suddenly a large silvery globule the size of a human host came shooting past it. Several of the dust creatures knocked it away. Then more, and more. A spinning globule hit me and it wrapped itself around me. I was trapped and falling. A strange substance pressed all around me, enclosing and smothered me. Water! They turned on a water hose. That's what Visperia called for. A drop of water enclosed me and splattered against the floor. I couldn't get away and clung me like glue to my body. Then I was out. I was on dry land, but the water dropped loaded with powerless dust creatures shouting all around me like a meteor storm. Marco, stamp your feet. I need to find you. I'm a little busy at Harbinger looking for trouble and someone turned on the sprinklers. Stamp your feet. I felt a new vibration rolling over the floor. I knew where it was coming from. I leapt and toned for the air. In a land of forest of giant hairs as big as the biggest tree. Where are you, Marco yelled? On you have to get out. How? Jump through the open hatch. I'm a gorilla, not a... Wait, I have an idea. I felt a shuddering vibration like an earthquake that rolled through his body. Then movement and wind whipping past at incredible speed. Where are we now, I asked. The good news is we're out of the ship. We used a couple harbingers to ladder and climbed over them. That's the good news. You seem to be implying there's some bad news. Yeah, the bad news is we're 2 miles up in the air and we're plummeting to Earth. Welp. That's not good. Chapter 36 with Rachel. The truck hit me in my back right leg. Must have shattered one because the pain was incredible. The impact knocked me off me several feet and I felt my head slam on the concrete. Maybe I was outside. I lay there on my side, breathing difficult. My eyes are closed. Flash, a construction site, dark light at night. The light in the sky was gone. Now in front of me, resting on the ground, a spaceship. It landed. There was a voice in my head came from nowhere. No, it came from him? The alien. I could see him under injured. The Yerks, he said. They come to destroy you. Flash. A barn full of animals in the cages. Birds, foxes, squirrels, raccoons, bats, and Cassie was there. Yes, Cassie, my friend. And the heirs, I could see them now. They've been with me at the construction site, and ever since then I thought that night we'd been joined together. Animorphs, that was the word. That was Marco's word. Flash, I was flying on wings to stretch forever, soaring high on thermals. An eagle, that's what I was, a bald eagle. Then yes, they swarmed me, a bunch of smaller blackbirds swarmed me and hit the tree, and then... Rachel, it took Marco. Opened my elephant eyes, the squirrel stood nervous and jumpy, tail twitching and mouth almost working as if we were talking. Cassie, I said. It took Marco, and I said, it took Marco, I didn't do anything. Marco, I remember Marco. You do? Is your memory come back? Yeah, mostly feels shaky. Overhead swooped 2 bugfires. The word was right there in my brain. I knew what they were. Crew, 1 Harbinger, 1 Taxon. I could form mental pictures of Harbinger. The Taxon was still hazy. But both were Yerks. That was the important thing. Each had a Yerk in its head. I can't sit up, I told Cassie. Elephant's leg is broken. I'm morphing back to human. Me too. It's gone for now. The Velic's gone. Rachel should have morphed when the dust piece was here. I could have drawn it away from Marco. I was scared. Of course you were. So was I. I could feel myself shrinking. My legs big as telephone poles were becoming human legs. A tusk stuck back in my mouth and it seemed to split in the warm front teeth. The trunk grew weak, lost its muscles, shriveled back in the form of my nose and my mouth. Why didn't the dust piece attack us or run my mouth before speech? It's off, carry Marco away, maybe killing him. I should have... Look, Cassie, I said, that's what happened, alright? It's in the past. We have the prison to worry about. I pointed the bugfires that looped on our head were coming back towards us at a much slower speed. Cassie, I don't remember, can you more quickly? Yes, it's exhausting though, I don't have a choice. We can't let them see us in human form. It'll blow our cover forever. Cassie, you need more so move fast. I don't remember everything we have available. Cassie, concentrate. It's night. The woods. Let's go airborne. We have what's acquired owl morphs. We used in the guard Jake when he taken by that Yerk. Great horned owls. I excuse my shut. An owl? I morphed one? Yes, I remembered. I could feel it. The buckfire started positions hovering in air just 100 yards on either side. And it is like I hear sirens screaming. Police cars going closer. Probably controllers, not real policemen. I have some thoughts on making the change. I squeezed my shut and concentrated. When my eyes got all... Again, it was broad daylight. Not daylight. I could see the world with the eyes of the owl. It might as well have been noon. I could see everything, every detail of the bugfire. See deep in the black woods. I could see flashing blue lights of the police cars. They're all as if they're right in my face. Ready? Cassie asked. Yeah, I think so. Follow me. She flapped her wings. I flapped mine. We flew just a foot above the ground. Suddenly, a large creature dropped from the hovering bugfire, dropped more than 50 feet at the ground and rolled, and it was up. My owl vision saw as if we were bathed in a spotlight. Harbinger, I yelled straight ahead. Second layer, another one dropped from the sky from above, and it made speed up and running toward us. Their arm blades glinted in the moonlight. We were shooting right at them, too low, and wouldn't be enough to get off the ground. We turned, we'd lose altitude, and they'd get us before we get clear. Straight at them, I said. My girl Rachel, groaned Cassie grimly. Then go for the eyes. I found my wings to desperate energy, right my talons forward. Harbinger came straight at us. We went straight for them. I knew for my fate was not my hands anymore. If my orders to kill us, we'd die. I could measure distance, my own mile speed, knew supreme speed of Harbinger, their landing, flashing blade arms. Something big flew through the air. I saw a flash of orange and black. My Harbinger went down with a huge tiger on its back, slamming it down in the dirt. Harbinger in front of Cassie turned to see just for a split second. Cassie flew past him, and the tiger leaped back toward a down Harbinger. I sailed above them all, flapping for dear life. Let's get out of here, Jake said. Definitely agreed. What about Marco, Jake asked. Has you seen him? Chapter 36. I don't think in the entire history of planet Earth any gorilla ever plummeted for the night from them high to 2 miles. That was the first for both of us. I was spinning wildly down through the cold night air. Far above me, way far too far below me, I saw street lights, and car lights, and neon store lights. And right before me, almost around me, clouds. I was a 400-pound gorilla just decided to go skydiving without a parachute. Marco, why are you screaming? It hurts my head. We're gonna die, you alien lunatic. No, we won't die. Don't be foolish. Maybe you won't. You're a flea. You'll bounce. You hit the ground like I'll hit the ground like a rock. Marco, morph into a bird. Oh. Duh. I feel foolish. Is there time? I don't know. Maybe we should hurry. Accent is an only calm way. That probably has a simple one. You can't morph from one thing to another. You had to return your natural form first, so I had to become human. Then I can morph into a bird. I meant later we were no longer gorilla and flea falling. We were human and Andalite falling, and the ground's no longer way too far below, so it was way too close. Ah! I yelled. Ah! I screamed and thought speak. I felt really confused screaming too, but I was too busy noticing I could make out individual houses ringed by faint light. I could see individual car lights and tail lights. I could see the mall parking lot was all empty save for a crew painting new stripes on a blacktop. I focused as hard as I could. I had long ago morphed an osprey, a type of hawk. It was mostly dark gray brown, sort of mild white underside and dark beak. A cool bird. You know what? Right at that moment, I didn't care what kind of bird it was as long as it had wings. Grow wings, grow, I yelled as a wind stripped past me, blew words out of my mouth. First hand before my skin felt so shrink, my bones grew light and hollow. Feel the grinding sounds of the bones of my skull stretched out to hold a much smaller brain. Too slow, way too slow. I can see people now. The guy working the mall parking lot. I can see people and it's still falling. No, wait, can I morph in time? No time. The ground. It was gonna hit me. It was jumping up to hit me. I could see the work crew look up at me. I saw his eyes. I could spread my arms wide. Not arms, wings. Swoosh. The wind snapped my wings back, stringing every muscle blew at 90 miles an hour, just inches off a freshly painted blacktop. I yelled and glanced left. I was right beside me as Harrier morph. That was exciting, I said. Yes, it was. Let's never do it again. Ever, Axe agreed. We had spent a bad night, Cassie and Rachel and I. Cassie and I went to our homes. Rachel spent the night at Cassie's home. Bizarre why she had to explain to her mom why she was in the gymnastics camp. Rachel was still shaky, but her memories all slowly back to normal. I figured the best thing would be to spend some time with Cassie. As for me, I dragged myself home at almost midnight. There's no question, I was grounded. I didn't argue. No TV, no Sega, in-house by 5 o'clock, wash all the dishes, take all the trash for 2 weeks, oh, and clean out the garage. I didn't say anything but yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, and I'm really sorry I worried you. Then I went to my room and tried to imagine if Visitor was doing Axe and Marco. Then I went to my room and tried to imagine if Visitor was doing Axe and Marco. I never felt so tired and bad. I fell asleep in my clothes face down on my unmade bed. We were beaten, that's why I fell asleep thinking. We were done. The dust monster would be back, we had survived most of us, but we wouldn't be able to morph safely. But yeah, morphs were finished, the battle was done. Nothing switching gears and control of Earth, and you know what? The thought made me just a tiny bit relieved. I was too tired to fight. Too tired. The next thing I knew was, Buka 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 buka! Ah! I sat up, spun around, twisted myself in the sheets, and fell off my bed. Marco laughed so hard he started crying. How'd you get her, man? Then, you're alive? No, I am the ghost of Marco! Fear me! What time is it? Like 10 in the morning, Marco said. He went to the window and opened the blinds. I recoiled from bright sunlight. Cass said the village carried you away. Yes, it did, and now we're going steady. Look, get with it. Wake up, Fiercely. We're all alive, waiting for you to come back and lead a counterattack. Counterattack? Glanced at the door. Don't worry, Marco said. Tom's out. I checked. I can't go anywhere. I'm busted for coming in late. Yeah, I talked to your dad on the way up. He mentioned that little fact. He said if you clean out the garage, you can go out for a while. Seemed really important to him. Like maybe if you clean out the garage, he'd be the happiest guy in the world. Sure, why not? My mom's been on for a month and cleaning the garage. That's why I guess to dump it off on me. Why wouldn't he be happy? You're gonna help? Me? Help clean the garage? As if. I smiled. I'm glad you're not dead, Marco. Me too. Get everyone together. Give me 3 hours to deal with the garage. Then we meet at the edge of the wolf. No one morphs, guy. No one morphs. Chapter 39, Cassie. I can't believe you guys are doing all this while I was sleeping, Tobias raged. Playing tag with some dust monster from Saturn. Rachel having amnesia while Marco plowed over a truck. Escaping from Visitor's blade ship, and I'm sleeping the entire time. I missed all the fun. You're the one who can't morph it, Jake, as a matter of fact, so very getting interested. Lucky you. If morphing goes after, Marco said, it or they, I should say, eat energy, not just in deep-fried hawk legs. Come stand over here, Marco, Tobias said. Stand under my branch. Everyone laughed, except me. I hadn't slept much. It wasn't the dream this time, it was the memory. The dream became real. And what sleep I had was burned by images, scared and shivering while the valley covered over us. I didn't like that memory. I don't mind being scared. We're all scared. But I didn't like knowing I kept myself safe at Marco's expense. There's no one for a person who would do that. A coward. I didn't like that word. It twisted inside me. Okay, here's what we know, Jake said. 1. The village is some sort of insect swarm. The individual particles spread so they sense the type of energy they can eat, then they call the swarm together. It forms this beast it's used for everything. 2. It has altered creatures' sorts on purpose. Yes, Axe said, it's fairly simple, really. They're programmed to hunt for morph energy to eat a different kind. Their spacecraft engine energy. Rachel nodded. Like a trained hunting dog, it chases the fox order only because its master gave it food of a different kind. The Velic chased morph energy brought the morph to its master and rewarded with energy from the ships. Exactly, Jake said. The Velic is a Visipri's dog, and unfortunately, it's awesome. Maybe unbeatable. No, I said quietly, not unbeatable. It couldn't lift Rachel when she was in elephant mode. She was too heavy. It has limits. On board the ship, you use water to control it. Everyone looked at me now. So, what do? I have a plan, but I have one condition. I have to be the one who does it. I told him the plan. Cassie has beyond danger, Jake said. Why should you do it? Because, I looked at Marco. I let the Velic take Marco. I could have morphed. I could have drawn me, but I let it take Marco. Marco smiled wryly. Cassie, it's no big deal. Here I am, fine and healthy and cute as ever. That's not the point. I was a coward. Rachel rolled her eyes. I agree, Cassie. You've been in every fight I've been. You're the first thing from a coward. Easy for you to say, Xena warrior princess. What? Don't you remember? That's what Marco calls you. She made a face. I guess still 1 or 2 holes in my memory, especially at Marco. Do I like it when I call you that, or do I kick your butt? Nice try, Rachel. You can't distract me, I said. I'm doing this. It's my plan. I'm doing it. Cassie, Jake said, playing with his eyes. Put his hand on mine and gave it a squeeze. You know it's a good plan, Jake, and you know I'm the person to do it. It's a new morph with no chance to try it out, and I'm the best morpher. No one said anything. I see a worry in Jake's eyes. Rachel put her hand on my shoulder. Alright, Jake said heavily. Let's go to the beach. Chapter 40 with Tobias. I call it beautiful thermal rising from the cliffs along the ocean. It was just perfect. I sprang my wings and felt the warm updraft grab me. It's like being fired out of a slingshot. I rose and circled higher over the ocean. I needed all the altitude I could get. I couldn't believe Cassie felt like the weak link in a group. I mean, I was the one who slept through half of what happened. It was embarrassing and frustrating. The only good thing was at least I had a role to play in the plan. Normally, Red-tailed hawk is not a water bird. We don't fly over a water well because over that you don't get thermals. But I was way up and a little luck I'd stayed aloft long to find what I was looking for. I had to see, as soon as I went out was well over gray blue water, I felt the air grow slack. I worked ahead and went to cancel compensating while I was able to hang on to most altitude. All the while I scanned the ocean beneath me. I had amazing vision when adapted for seeing through water like a bald eagle or osprey's is. Still, if I was searching for it was down there, I'd see it well enough. I was getting tired by the time I spotted the spout. It was actually back closer to the shore where I was flying. That was lucky. I turned south and veered at an angle that brought me closer to the shore. I was still 2 miles from the beach. Then just below me, I could see it plowing majestically through the waves. It rose and blew out its lungs and dove again. It reappeared 100 yards further south, always south. I wheeled to my left and headed back towards shore. I was tired and glad to see land, but it wouldn't be much of a chance to rest. The real test was still ahead. My hawk eyes swim beach below. One crowd it took a few minutes to find them still. I spilled air and dropped down to meet my friends. I have one for you, Cassie. I found a whale. Chapter 41 with Cassie. I'm just saying there are people who should be lying on the beach and there are people who shouldn't be, Marco said. You see fat, hairy old guys in Speedos in Baywatch? No. On Baywatch they have a law against it. David Hasselhoff kills off anyone who isn't good looking. We need a Hasselhoff law here, that's all I'm saying. So you wouldn't mind never going back to the beach, Marco, Rachel said wryly. Wanely, not really interested in playing put-down games with Marco. I went on the beach pretending everything was normal, pretending we weren't worried, pretending everything was fine. Rachel's still quiet. I was thinking the experience of losing her memory is shaking her up. Rachel's someone who was always in control, very brave dealing with threats, so this thing new to her, a threat that could come from inside. Marco's trying too hard to tell Jessica to relax. I feel like somehow he was responsible for my feeling bad. He only told me he didn't blame me, but he already told me and I already said thanks, still felt bad. He didn't know how to deal with that, so he tried to make everyone laugh. Jake was just a big tension and he hides it well, but I know him. I know when he's upset. It's something you see in the way he presses his lips together and a certain hooded look in the eyes. Then Tobias is back. I have one for you, Cassie. I found a whale. I waved at him. Tobias told us what a whale was. Jake stopped walking. You don't have to do this, Cassie. You forced the impact hits too fast. Besides, maybe the village isn't even around anymore. I couldn't look him in the eye. He was offering me an easy way out. I didn't want to be tempted. I'm going in as calmly as I could. I could do this, Cassie, Rachel said. Do 3 morphs, 6 changes, and 1 is totally new all quickly. You'll all say I'm the fastest morpher, the one who gets control of the new morph easiest. I'm the person for the job. To my surprise, Jake nodded. Cassie's right. It's her job. We'll be here for you. The 4 of us walked in a stir. If I had to sit this one out, if we would have had the more factor's original form, and it probably wouldn't have gone over well on the beach. We chose a spot from far from the lifeguards. We didn't want someone to sign we need being rescued. I splashed into cold surf. The water billowed around my ankles, my waist, and my legs. I pulled him forward and swam away from shore. The was right beside me. Tobias flew over the top of the cliff to rest up for a few seconds. I swam out to sea. As I swam, I focused on first morph. Some are terrifying, some are disgusting, some overwhelm you with instincts. Others make you feel invincible power. Some, not me but a few, are just wonderful. As I swam, I felt my face bulge out and out. I felt my legs begin to fuse together, but my skin became thick and rubbery. I began feeling my lungs shut down for a moment, and a second later sucking air from a hole behind my head. Before I heard Tobias stop speaking faint but understandable. It's coming! The Velik, it's coming! I was a creature with feet but no legs, and hands that were flat and gray with no arms. I had human eyes still stung from saltwater with a blowhole in the back. I was half human, half bottlenose dolphin. I rolled on my side to look upward, and there it was, Vizfree's hunting dog, the Velik. A tornado of energy-hungry particles that swarmed like a small tornado. I dove beneath the waves, and my focus was still there, but I hadn't come closer. It doesn't like the water, Marcus said. I guess not, I agreed. You're right, Cassie, Marcus said. Let's hope so. Oh, the last change became a true dolphin. The joy. I forgot how happy a dolphin was. It seemed strange when we were up against, but still with all the worry, the dolphin joy was hard to contain. Let's go find this whale, Rachel said. We took out a full dolphin speed. I heard a series of clicks on the organ in my head. The clicks resounded through the water and came back in echoes. The echoes painted a picture of what was in the water around me. I had my echolocation to yours. Yeah, Jaggery, a little left. Not far now. Soon I could hear the whale crashing through the water. It raced up alongside him faster than he was, but insignificant beside his bulk. It was like running next to a truck or a train. His flank was a gray wall, scarred and dotted with crusts of barnacles. Little ones. The whale in the voice was not a voice, and words aren't really words. Strange clouds above. He kept moving, not really caring whether we were there or not. The Velik kept pace, so it's not able to attack, but not drawn off either. He kept moving, not really caring whether we were there or not. The Velik kept pace, not able to attack, but not drawn off. Okay guys, it's time, I said, get ready. Again, demorph, easier said than done. It's moving at whale speed much faster than I could swim as a human. Great one, do not dive, asked the whale. Whether he heard or understood, I let alone agreed, I couldn't say. It's hard to describe the way a whale communicates. Dolphins can hear the thought speech, but it isn't words. Not really. It's more like a strange beautiful picture appears in your mind. Jake and Rachel sat up beside me. I pressed their snouts against me, pushed me through the water. I demorphed slowly, my tail split into legs, my flippers turned to fingers. I was fully human and gasping for breath. Gasping for breath with his face just out of the water. My face just out of the water, just 2 feet off, the Velik covered, hungry for a chance. I pressed my human hands beside the whale, focused on my mind process to acquire, and felt wrong as if I should ask for permission, but the slow fake communication didn't allow for explanations. I need his DNA. He slowed and almost stopped. It was the acquiring trance. All I was become calm when they were getting acquired, but it's hard to think of the whale as just an animal. I dealt with them before. They're not intelligent the same way humans are, but they have minds and, I believe, souls. What I'd done was acquiring the Great One's DNA, I took my hands off him. I'm done, I said, getting a mouthful of salt water. My hands slowed down and the whale pulled away. Now it's one of the most awkward things in the world, a human being in the ocean. I didn't fear drowning because my friends were all around me, but with the Velik hanging over us like a low ceiling, it was creepy. Is Tobias ready? He's high above the Velik, Jake said. Are you holding up? So far, so good. I'm ready. Chapter 42 with Tobias. It wasn't my favorite kind of flying. Hawks are not like geese. They can't power fly hour per hour. Personally, I don't know how they do it. A hawk likes a bit of headwind to get a lift to take off. I had that, at least. Most of the time I hunt under trees, swimming down, I'm wearing mice. When we go for serious altitude, let's get some tree lift on thermal. Otherwise, it's hard work flapping for altitude. But I couldn't complain. Cassie had the worst job. She rode my back and coverage more. She had to finish more, which literally underwater, keep away from the Velik. She morphed from human to dolphin to human to cockroach already, and more was coming. Hanging in there? Yeah, I'm fine. Is the Velik following us? No, they're just keeping distracted. They're doing partial morphs, keeping it down near the surface of the water. How are you doing? No problem, I said. It was a lie. I was training for every foot of altitude and I was wearing out. I'd be as high as possible, casting every foot I could give her. We were making progress. About 100 feet, I caught a nice gust of wind that rose 1,000 feet or so, but it was dead air for a while, and I was struggling. Tobias? Yeah, Cassie. Do you think this will work? If I get enough altitude, it'll work. Are you ever afraid? Who, me? I'm afraid of everything. I know I'm a predator, but you know how many predators I have after me? Every gold eagle, every lion, you know how fast I was getting hit by bullets. They don't even look like a Goodyear blimp, and there's raccoons and foxes and snakes and occasional nervy house cats, and that's just a natural environment. Add to the irks, in fact, I wake up sometimes, don't remember who I am, what I am. Yeah, Cassie, I'm afraid a lot of the time. How do you handle it? Who says to handle it? There's only one way to deal with fear. Be afraid. Be afraid and do what you have to do anyway. Yeah, I guess that's true. Listen, Tobias, if I don't make it... Oh, shut up. You're going to make it. If I don't, then tell Jacob that someday he has to tell my parents, okay? Someday, if I'm ever safe, tell him what happened to me. I promise? Sure, Cassie, I promise. Just don't tell my dad what happened to the truck. I think he thinks it was stolen. We better leave it at that. Cassie, this is it. I can't go any higher. Okay, Tobias, thanks for the ride. I felt her skull down along my wing, and a second later I saw her falling and spinning. Girl had become a cockroach, now falling from a mile up, trying to draw a monster to attack her. A girl who thought she was a coward. It's amazing people can just not know themselves at all. With my hawk eyes, I saw her grow and grow as human DNA research itself. I saw a Velik turn its million mouths toward the sky. Then finally, with Cassie's POV, I fell, almost blind with roach eyes I fell. I was on one thing, morphing. No time to wonder where the ocean's surface was. No time to remember the village. Morph, morph, morph. Eyes. I could see, below me I could see in every direction. Water. A tiny white white peaked waves. Ripples that caught the sunlight. It was beautiful. Blue sky above, blue water below. Water would be hard to conquer if it fell too quickly. I could see Tobias circling above. And the water below tiny pale gray cylinders of Jake and Rachel and Margot. Was I fully human? Yes, I must be. Because the exhaustion hit me in a wave and my eyes flutter and my limbs go weak. Too many morphs too quickly and now. Morph, morph, focus, concentrate, believe. But the changes were slow. So slow. I focused my mind, but it was so tired. It was so easy to just fall and fall. Morph, Cassie, do it. I felt myself changing. I felt myself growing. And then it was on me. The village fired ropes of dust at me, and they wrapped around me like the tentacles of an octopus. Around my hands, it became flippers. My legs started melting together. Ignore it. Morph is the only hope. I felt it take my weight. My man was slowing. We were still dropping, me and the village together. For a dust storm caught a glimpse of the ocean below me. The cigar chase and my friends were too close. Too close. Morph, Cassie. One more time. But I didn't have strength. I was beaten. And then at that moment, I felt the edge of the girl's brain brushing its mind, its instincts and DNA memories. Help me, I pleaded. In a dream of falling and falling, I reached out in a dark, vast being I couldn't define. I reached out for the whale's strength. Morph, finish the morph, finish it, and then you can rest. Chapter 4, Forward Rachel. At first I couldn't see her, but then the cockroach grew and became larger. I see her as a dot way up in the sky. Here she comes. The village shouts and as we pray. Should we try and keep any list any longer, I asked? No, Jake said. It's up to Cassie now. Someday Jake would be a general president. He had the ability to make hard decisions even as people he cares for. She fell and grew and became human again. She's too close, not enough time. The valley will slow her down, Margot said. None of us ever been done so many more in such a short time is mind-boggling. Impossible, and yet as the village wrapped itself around her, she started spouting the flukes of a humpback whale. Now all I could see was the village just sort of wrapped around Cassie and slowed, and then, am I crazy? It's falling faster, Margot asked. Yes and yes, I cried. She did it! Like a rock, the village fell. It could not support her growing weight. It wouldn't be able to lift an elephant, and what was holding now is so much bigger. It was already now a full-grown humpback whale. And it was falling toward the ocean. The last second I tried to break free, but it wrapped itself too tightly on our prey, there was no prey at all. I'd opened the surge just on to witness. Sploosh! The tornado hit the water. All the billions of particles sent in the ocean waves. In a split second, it was gone. Washed away. And it's pulling away from Doom Valley, emerging from a wasted tornado as a huge sea creature at depth charge 50 feet straight down. Cassie, are you alright? There's no answer. The whale fell through the water. Cassie, answer me. And then it came a kick from that massive whale tail. Ha ha! Cassie yelled. Take that, you big bag of wind. Cassie power kicked her way to the surface and shot clear of the water. Hey, visitor free cowman, Cassie crowed. I washed your dog for you. She fell back on a mighty splash. She raced to join her. Good job, Cassie, Jake said. We'll scratch one Velik. I can't believe that, Marco said. We actually won one. We won. We kicked butt. Cassie must be exhausted by sitting alone hanging slow above us. Not anymore. I feel great. I thought we were being. Guess what? We aren't. Not yet. Not by a long shot. To my total amazement, she began to sing the deep, strange, haunting song of the humpback. The sound waves thrilled me, but I didn't know why. What are you singing, Jake asked her. What's the words? It isn't words exactly, Cassie said, but if it were, it'd be just one word. Hope. Whew. And that's the end of the story. The end of Megamorphs number 1, and I am tired. You all take care, and have a good evening. I'll see you all later.